right, so all praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakaha Kodash. Double honors to my elders, apostles, and the bishops of Great Millstone, where I have learned this truth and where I'm still learning this truth. And also shalom to the other sincere followers of this truth. What I mean by that is the other brothers and sisters of the remnant of Israel, okay? Because that is who these scriptures, the truth of these scriptures, the gospel of these scriptures is meant for, all right? Because they are the only ones who will really take heed to these things, okay? And in the beginning, you heard me say, all praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is whom the world ignorantly calls God, all right? God is a trait and a title, but his true name is Yahweh. All right. And when you hear me say Bahashem, that is in the name. All right. And Yahweh Shai is whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus among other names. But his true name is Yahweh Shai. All right. And when you speak these names, what language are you speaking? All right. The Paleo Hebrew, the Lashawan Kodash, which is Kodash, holy, Lashawan tongue. Okay. The holy tongue. All right. So, I just wanted to bring that up because the names are not in English. They're not in Greek. They are Hebrew. All right, Hebrew names. But anyway, so this is going to be the man fourth or fifth. I don't know. We'll know in the title. Okay. This is going to be another video on the topic of Lazarus and the rich man. Okay. Today's video, we're going to start out in the Apocrypha. All right, chapter 25, verse 1. Okay. So, the book of Ecclesiasticus, also known as Sirach, all right? Chapter 25 and verse 1. It reads, "In three things I was beautified and stood up beautiful both before God and men. The unity of brethren, the love of neighbors, a man and a wife that agree together." Okay? So Esau tore down these things. Okay? Those three things that were mentioned right there. The unity of brethren, the love of neighbors, a man and a wife that agree together. Okay? So these three things were broken apart or destructured by Esau through the spirit and power of Yahweh, of course. Right? But these are three things that they attacked. All right? To get into households. Right? Divide and conquer. Destructuring of the home. Esau has beaten the Hebrew out of us. All right? Okay? That is portrayed in many films. Okay? Where they beat our heritage out of us and give us new names. All right? Give us a new understanding through the beating of who they want us to be, what they want us to be. All right? There are records of slaves coming to this land with Hebrew names, not these Americanized names that we have. All right? There are records of us coming through to this continent with Hebrew names. All right, our Hebrew had started to dim in or and around 70 A.D. All right, when we left Israel, going into Africa, when we went into slavery, our old paths were beaten out of us. Okay, things happen over and over. There's nothing new. Things happen over and over. All right. So we weren't even allowed to speak in our own tongue. All right. We were not allowed to keep our own names. Okay. The movie Roots is an example of that. All right. It speaks to that fact. And let me read that again. Sirach 25 and verse 1 in the Good News Translation. The heading says people who deserve praise. All right. It says there are three things in which I take special delight. Things that are beautiful to the Lord and people alike. All right. Brothers who get along with each other, neighbors who are friends, and a married couple who are happy together. Okay, again, these things were beaten out of us, and these things were destructured. All right, these things were attacked more and more throughout time. Okay, by Esau. All right, now let's go to chapter. Stay in that same book. We're going to chapter 40, 40. All right, which in Roman numerals would be XL. Okay, for 40. Um, so anyway, Ecclesiasticus chapter 40 and verse 1. All right, it reads, great travail is created for every man, and an heavy yoke is upon the sons of Adam, from the day that they go out of their mother's womb to the day that they return to the mother of all things. Okay, so we are the sons of Adam. Adam produced the chosen lineage, all right, along with other peoples came from Adam, but the chosen lineage came from Adam. Okay, there were other Adamites that created other children, which were destroyed in the flood. Okay, the chosen lineage came through Adam, which led to Noah, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right, there is a heavy yoke upon the sons of Adam, which is the travail and afflictions, the sufferings and the hell put on us, just as Lazarus goes through travail and afflictions. All right, because all of this is pertaining to, again, Lazarus and the rich man. All right, so just as Lazarus went through travail and afflictions, full of sores, so do we. Okay, whatever we have is taken from us. All right, whatever we have is taken from us. That's part of the curses. Okay, go look at Deuteronomy and look at them curses. All right, you read that again in the Good News Translation, the book of Sirach, chapter 40, verse 1. It says, every person that has been given a great deal of work to do, excuse me, let me start all over. Sirach, chapter 40, verse 1, it says, every person has been given a great deal of work to do. A heavy burden lies on all of us from the day of our birth until the day we go back to the earth. All right, did I say that correctly? Let me read that again. All right, Sirach 40 and 1. Every person has been given a great deal of work to do. A heavy burden lies on all of us from the day of our birth until the day we go back to the earth, the mother of us all. Okay, so the good news is trying to play games a little bit with that. It leaves it open for interpretation, but really, that verse, if you take it word for word of good news, it's talking about um, the sons of Adam, the sons of God, all right? Israelites, okay? So let's go to Luke. Let's go to Luke chapter 16 and read verse. Uh, Luke 16 and read verse 21. So yeah, keep in mind, we are still on the topic, Lazarus and the rich man. And Lord willing, you will get some kind of edification and be able to make a connection with this, all right? Make the connection, okay? So Luke 16, verse 21, red letter, back into the parable. It says, and desiring to be fed with the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table. Moreover, the dogs came and licked his sores. Okay, so we want to be a little prosperous too, all right? But with the curses upon us, we can't be. That's period, point blank. Okay, we try to get a little stability, but it can't be because we went off. We are under these curses, subjected to vanity and sin, which the big picture, yes, is subjected to hope and faith, But we have to walk this walk. All right. All of these things, not only do we read it, but we have to live through these things. Okay. So again, we try to get a little stability, but it can't be because we went off. All right. Now we try and eat a little off Esau's table. When we go, or when we get our own stores, but the heathen come and take everything over. Sometimes they'll even keep our names on the thing that they took. All right. They do this everywhere. All right. Not only to stores either. I mean, they do that to lands. All right. Landmarks. Okay. No matter where they go, there they are. All right. So they'll keep the name of the thing, but they'll take over. All right. Let me read that again in the NLT. Let's see if the NLT holds up a little bit better than the good news has so far in this video. Luke chapter 16 and verse 21. It reads, As Lazarus lay there longing for scraps from the rich man's table, the dogs would come and lick his open sores. All right. Let's see what this good news says, man. All right. Luke 16 and 21. It says Lazarus covered with sores, who used to be brought to the rich man's door, hoping to eat the bits of food that fell from the rich man's table. Even the dogs would come and lick his sores. All right. All right. Let's go now to Haggai chapter 1 and verse 6. Haggai 1 and verse 6, it says, Ye have sown much and bring in little. All right, ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages put into a bag with holes. So we work our asses off like every day, man, or all the time. Excuse me. But we bring in little. We make a little bit of something, but it goes into a bag with holes. They always got our hands in they always got their hands in our pockets. Excuse me. All right. Before our money hits the bank, all right, half of it is already taken. Okay? Before it even hits the bank, half of it is already taken. All right, we pay taxes every week. Okay, we pay tax. They take the taxes out of our checks every week. I'm just speaking to myself as a, working these 9 to 5s. They take taxes out every week. All right, and then at the end of the year, how the fuck do you end up owing them? How do they say, well, you owe us this? You the one who took the monies out, and then now we owe you more at the end of the year. How does that make sense? Yeah, man. Yeah, they run a good game. They run a good game. But like I said, all through the power and spirit of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, who they don't even consider. Okay? The Lord made them do these things. All right? Let's read this again in the NLT. Haggai chapter 1 and verse 6 in the NLT. You have planted much, but you harvest little. You eat, but are not satisfied. You drink, but are still thirsty. You put on clothes, but cannot keep warm. Your wages disappear as though you were putting them in pockets filled with holes. All right, whose system is this, man? Whose system is this? Let's read that again in the Good News Translation. All right. Hold on a second. Haggai 1 and 6 in the Good News Translation. It reads, "You have planted much grain, but have harvested very little. You have food to eat, but not enough to make you full. You have wine to drink, but not enough to get drunk on. You have clothing, but not enough to keep you warm. And workers cannot earn enough to live on." All right. So again, that translation is, I don't know what it's doing, but you get the point, Lord willing. Okay. So again, we work our asses off, but bring in little. We make a little bit of something, but it goes into a bag with holes before our money even hits the bank account. All right. It is already taken. Okay. Let's go back to Sirach, or the book of Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, and we're going to chapter 31. And verse 4. Okay. All right. It reads, "The poor laboreth in his poor estate, and when he leaveth off, he is still needy." I mean, we have built this place up so much, man. And we are in want of everything, as it also says in the curses of Deuteronomy. All right. So again, in the Good News, Sirach chapter 31 and verse 4, it reads, "Poor people work hard and have nothing to show for it. And when they rest, they are still poor." All right. Which this is not our rest here. All right. But you get the point. Okay. Whose system is this, man? When the wicked are in power, people mourn. All right. That's paraphrasing a verse also. But we are not taught to make businesses. We are taught to make money. That is not enough. All right. We are taught to work and to not think, but what to think. We are wanted to stay poor. All right. That's mentally and physically and spiritually, man. They don't want to afford us any type of growth. Again, whose system is this, man? All right. Whose system is this? Let's go to Deuteronomy really quick. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28 and 29. I'll get a couple more verses and then we'll not cut the video, but we'll stop as far as the subject matter goes for the time being. Because we need to go into a warning, okay? But right now, let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 28 and 29. Still keep in mind, we are speaking about, we are going into detail about the truth of the parable of Lazarus and the rich man, okay? Deuteronomy chapter 28. All right, Deuteronomy. All right, Deuteronomy 28 and 29. All right. Hold on. All right, Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 29. It reads, "And thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt only be oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee. All right, so all these people we got throughout time that they like to point at uh, and want you to look up to: Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and there's a whole list of people. These people weren't going to save us, man. All right, they were not going to save us. As a matter of fact, they put us on a different path to death. Also, it was another path of death. It wasn't this truth. There's only one that can save us, man. All right, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Okay. All right, Yahweh Shai is going to come back here and save us. Okay. So let me read that again, and then we'll get the explanation. All right, Deuteronomy 28 and 29. And thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee. All right, so groping means to grab. Okay. When it is light, we are trying to grasp at things we cannot achieve. So instead, we get crumbs from the rich man's table. All right, I hope you see this. Okay. We are destroyed, which goes back to being destructured. They took the structure away from us. All right, what is structure? These laws, statutes, and commandments. And all the while they're telling you that they're done with. And got people repeating it. You Israelites are repeating that. And saying we in the kingdom. I don't know. Again, we are destroyed and no one is helping us. Nor can they. All right, they're not helping us. But even if they wanted to, they couldn't. All right, it's not written that way. When we hear of terroristic attacks, we are numb because worse things have happened to Israelites. There are many things that they want you to remember. Remember this day. Remember that day. Remember this war, that war. Remember these deaths, those deaths. All right, but there are things that we are finding out that are horrible. There are things that the world know is horrible that turn a blind eye to, that they turn a blind eye to. And have Israelites still turning a blind eye to them, even though it happened to your people. Right? But they don't want you don't hear them telling you to remember this. They tell you to forget about it. But every time a date rolls around that happened to them, all right, then they want you to remember. Never forget. All this other bullshit, man. All right. So anyway, again, we are destroyed and no one is helping us, nor can they. When we hear of terroristic attacks, we are numb because worse things have happened to Israelites. There is nothing that has happened to these other nations that is worse than what has happened to Israel. Period. All right. Let me go real quick to Daniel 9 and 12. Let me see what that says really quick. All right. I can't. Hold on, man. Daniel chapter 9, verse 12. I just want to see why did I write that down? Daniel 9 and 12. It says, and he hath confirmed his words, which he spake against us, and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil. For under the whole heaven hath not been done as hath been done upon Jerusalem. All right. Do you see how that confirmed that, right? Everything that has happened to us, he told us was going to happen in these scriptures, but you won't know that unless you are reading, studying, which he tells you to do that. These things are written for our learning, man. So again, there is nothing that has happened to these other nations that is worse than what has been happening or is happening to Israel. All right. Okay. So while Edomites and these other nations, all right, anyway, while Edomites say they are not racist or that they are against racism, they show you otherwise. when other non-European countries are being oppressed or going through whatever Ukraine is going through, do you hear or see anyone standing with these non-European countries? Do you see that? All right. When you ask people about this point, the common reply was that the European situation is different. All right. The European situations are different because they are closer to home. What does that mean? They even said that on these news stations, man. They said that. All right. What does this mean? Is that racist? Right? Standing for their own people? Examples of Esau's mind state. Look up what Karens are. All right. I mean, they call everybody Karens nowadays, but when that first thing started happening, look up what Karens are. Okay. These people think they own everything. All right. They are in the mind state. They're in the same mind state when it comes to Esau. They think they own everything, man. All right. But the Lord says this right here, though. Let's go to Ezekiel 28 and 9. All right. Ezekiel chapter 28 and verse 9. Right? It says, wilt thou yet say before him that slayeth thee, I am God? But thou shalt be a man and no God in the hand of him that slayeth thee. Okay? You ain't no God, Esau. You know that, man. I mean, you got a lot of people acting like they don't know it, but you know it. And we know it. All right, before I stop with this subject matter for today, I do want to read that Deuteronomy 28 and 29. I want to read it in the NLT and in the Good News. Okay? All right. So bear with me for a second. All right. Deuteronomy 28 and verse 29 in the NLT. It says, you will grope around in the broad daylight like a blind person groping in the darkness, but you will not find your way. You will be oppressed and robbed continually, and no one will come to save you. All right, no one's going to come to save us, nor could they save us even if they tried to. Okay, I want to check that Daniel 9 and 12 out in the NLT. All right. Man, how do I keep losing this, man? There it is, Daniel 9 and 12. All right, in the NLT. It reads, you have kept your word and done to us and our rulers exactly as you warned. Never has there been such a disaster as happened in Jerusalem. All right. So you can point to any country, any peoples all you want to, and say, look how bad they got it. All right. Look, remember what they've been through. And throw yourself in there too. Remember what we've been through, like you've been through something, Esau. But ain't no one been through what Israelites have been through. All right. Read that again in the Good News. Deuteronomy 28 and 29 in the Good News. And when I say Esau, keep in mind, we're talking about Lazarus and the rich man. Speaking to the rich man. He had the same mindset. He had the same mindset as Esau, because that is who Esau is, the rich man in that parable. Deuteronomy 28 and 29 in the Good News translation. You will grope about in broad daylight, like someone blind, and you will not be able to find your way. You will not prosper in anything you do. You will be constantly oppressed and robbed, and there will be no one to help you. All right, let's go to Daniel. Daniel 9 and verse 12 in the Good News. Daniel 9 and 12 in the good news, it says, you did what you said you would do to us and our rulers. You punished Jerusalem more severely than any other city on earth. And that's the point. Everybody thinks they have the same walk as Israelites. No, you don't. No, you don't, man. Yes, everybody is in decay, all right? But more so the Israelites, all right? More so the Israelites, okay? Now, again, in the NLT, let's just get this last verse really quick. Let's go to Ezekiel 28 and 9 in the NLT. See what the Lord says. Ezekiel 28 and 9. You ain't no God, Esau. Ezekiel 28, chapter 9, or Ezekiel chapter 28, verse 9 in the NLT. Will you then boast, I am a God, to those who kill you? It tells you what's going to happen, what's going to be your end, all right? Will you then boast, I am a God, to those who kill you? To them you will be no God, but merely a man. That's what you are, just a man. You the lowest of low. You the lowest of the low for real, man. The Lord has put you, set you on high this wicked ass kingdom. Ezekiel 28 and 9 in the GNT. Hold on, I'll get there. Ezekiel chapter 28 verse 9 in the Good News translation. It reads, when they come to kill you, will you still claim that you are a God? When you face your murderers, you will be mortal and not at all divine. Hey, man. Hey, I like the way the Good News did that at the end, man. I got to read that again. Ezekiel 28 and 9. When they come to kill you, will you still claim that you are a God? More than likely. Your pride being so lifted up. It says, when you face your murderers, you will be mortal and not at all divine. Nothing about you is God-like. All right? It's all in your head, Esau. It's all in your motherfucking head, man. So, right there, we're going to stop because I want to finish this video on a warning that the Lord told us to give, okay? So, we know that the things in these scriptures are faithful and true, all right? We know that they are all faithful and true, okay? One of the things that the Lord tells his men to do is to give warning to the remnant, because the gospel of this, the good news of this, is for the remnant. It's not for anyone else. And the remnant is only 1/3 of Israel, which means 2/3 of the Israelites are wicked, man. They're going to be destroyed. They're actually they come against us. Okay? They're wicked. Okay? So, these warnings. This warning is in Revelation chapter 13, verses 16 to 17. And this thing is already in the earth. The difference is that it has to be made mandatory. That is the only difference. It's already here. They already got the shit set up for y'all to do. All right? It's already here. Just a matter of time. All right? So it says, and he causeth all. Who is that he? Esau, the rich man. All right? In that parable. All right? He's going to cause you. He's going to cause all. All right? Both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. All right, there's two ways they're going to get you with this. maybe more. All right, but I'm gonna just say there's a convenience list, meaning they're gonna come at you with a bunch of conveniences. All right, they're gonna give you more credits in your bank. All right, monies, and I'm not talking dollars. Dollars is on its way out. It is all but finished. All right, they'll give you money to take it. All right, everything they did with that C-19 thing in the shoulder. All right, they're gonna, and it's that kind of deception on steroids, man. As far as uh, I'll just say it like this: it is that kind of persuading on steroids, right? So they're gonna give you credits in your bank, lottery tickets, scholarship chances at scholarships, put you in a drawing for scholarships. Uh, I don't know, have allow access into certain buildings. Uh, Use it as a key fob to your car. You don't have to use keys. You get in your cars, your houses, your banks, your PO boxes, tuitions. I already say that. Um, hey, you get a free trip to the brothels probably in other countries, and here they might start letting you. I don't know, give you 10. I don't know, whatever your vice is, whatever buttons they know that they can push on you to get you to take this thing in a pleasant way, all right, without much convincing, since people just jump to their pleasure instead of taking heed to anything. They're going to push that button. All right. And then there's another way that they're going to approach this through threats. All right. If you don't want to take it, okay, and you think that you are safe because you are only considering you, they're going to threaten your family, your babies, and I mean baby babies. They're going to threaten your little kids, your preteens, your teenagers, your uncles, your brothers, your mothers, your fathers. They're going to take your house, your cars, your money, what you consider money. They're going to take all that. All right. They're going to take your big toe, your left ear, all right, your right eye. Okay. Everything they're going to do. And they are going to mean these threats that they tell you because they don't give a fuck, man. They are on a mission. You just haven't seen their teeth yet, but it's going to happen. All right. It's written. Okay. This thing is going to get pushed. All right. There's already many people who have this thing. Okay. They read the scriptures, and even if they didn't have the truth, something had to click in their head to where, damn, this sound like something in the scriptures, and still they paid it no mind. All right, they got this thing already. Just to keep up with the Joneses, say that they're on the cutting edge of technology. You on the cutting edge of the Lord's sword is what you own. Anyway, there's no scriptures in the Bible saying that you will have time or room for repentance or that you can repent after taking this thing. It doesn't mean, or it doesn't matter if it's in your body for a second, 5 seconds. I don't know. You get 12 hours with this thing. If you decide, we'll give you a 12-hour trial period. If you don't like it, come back and we can take it out. It don't matter. The Lord doesn't specify that anything besides if you take this thing, you fucked. And we're going to read this. Go to the next chapter, Revelation 14, verses 9 and 10. It says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink. Doesn't say might, doesn't say maybe, doesn't say it's a possibility. It says you shall drink. All right? Or you will drink. Okay? There's no question. The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture, the straight indignation, man. All right? He ain't going to take it easy on you. You're going to get it without mixture. All right? Let me start 10 again. Revelation 14 and 10. The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, which is righteous anger. Okay? And he shall be tormented. He meaning you, shall be tormented, whoever takes this damn chip, with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. So how are you going to take? How are you going to be burnt up? All right. How are you going to be tormented? How are you going to be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of Yahweh Shai? It's because that is the time of his return. America is Babylon the Great. It doesn't matter if you believe it or not. All right. That's what it is. It is also the future site of the lake of fire. All right. That's how you are going to burn in the presence of the Lamb, because that is when it happens on his return. It's a wrap. It's done for you, man. All right. That's what you can find about if you take this thing. Okay. So don't let someone fool you into thinking that the laws are done away with. Okay. And don't let anyone fool you and tell you that there isn't a such thing as too late. There is a such thing as too late, and it's coming. All right. Y'all going to be wishing that when we say it's the last days, all right, y'all overlook that S, or you don't respect that S. But in the day that is over, you're going to wish there was an S on the last days. All right. There is a time it's too late, man. There's a such thing as too late. And again, it is coming, man. Nobody can stop it. All of these things are true and faithful. Nobody can stop it. The Lord isn't even going to stop it for his good name's sake. All right. He sticks to his word. All right. His great name's sake. Excuse me. Anyway, that's going to be that for that video. But we are not done with this topic of the parable of Lazarus and the rich man. All right. So with that, all praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakaha Kwadash. Double honors to my elders, apostles, and the bishops of Great Millstone, where I have learned this truth and where I am still learning this truth. And shalom also to the other sincere followers of this truth. All right. And Lord willing, we'll see you in the next video. All right. Shalom.